welcome back. There is the starting line of 2013 Monument Avenue 10K. About 24 different waves will go off today to accommodate the nearly 39,000 runners and walkers that are taking part in this year's event. Lane Casadante and Bart Yasso from Runner's World Magazine again back with you. And Bart, can you tell us a little bit about where this race ranks as far as the elites are concerned and what kind of a field that this event draws for some of the best runners in the world, middle distance runners?
Well, first of all, this is one of the best races in the country, and it gets the elite runners every year, and that's why. They want to run fast. This is a fast course. The Sports Backers is one of the best organizers of any race, and that's the big thing here. Good weather, fast course, and a great organized race, and some prize money. That combination is why we get some of the best runners in the world here.
And there on the left-hand side of the screen, you see our Dash for the Cash contestant. That's David Hoff, who got a head start of, I think, a little less than 2 miles. And the first one back to the finish line here gets $2,500. I want to talk about some of the elites that you see in the group to your right. Rogers Ropp is running in this year's race. He is one of 4 men to win both the Boston and New York marathons in the same year. He did it 11 years ago. And this was the funniest part that I found about his hometown, and so happy that he won and so proud that he got 5 sheep and 2 cows from the people in his village, plus the $80,000 that he won with. And then, this was when he won the Boston Marathon, then he and his wife had a baby, named their son Boston.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That is a lot of money in Kenya. So, you know, he's an amazing, amazing runner. I don't know if he's at the highest level in 10 kilometers. He was more of a long distance marathoner, half marathoner, but what a great name. Just shows some of the talent and great runners that have graced this course over the years.
I get the feeling that the 5 sheep and the 2 cows meant just as much as the $80,000, though, at least symbolically.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Another Emmanuel Bohr, who ran collegiately at Alabama, 4-time All-SEC cross country. His personal record for the 10K is 29:24. He was one of 3 runners in our elite group that finished in the top 15 of an event in Charleston, South Carolina last week.
Yeah, Charleston, the Cooper River Bridge Run is one of the stepping stones in the spring. A lot of runners come there, run that race, and then follow up and run here.
The men's record in this event was set by Ruben Chabi in 2004. It's 28:07. The women's record was set by Magdalene Makunzi in 2007 at a time of 32:24. Also want to mention there are some wheelchair contestants in this event as well. That's a little bit tougher with the cobblestones.
Oh, man.
Wheelchair. That's a little bit of a rough ride, but this event brings out runners of all different types of ability and skill.
That's the beauty of it, and that's why the wave system works the way they do it, because you're running with people of your ability. That's the best part of it. But right now, that picture we got there, our Dash for the Cash and that elite pack, they're staying together. Someone's got to commit to pushing the pace at some point, but right now they're in a big group, and that's pretty common until they get to that halfway.
Now here is an interesting sight, because David on the left he's already made the turn on Monument Avenue.
Yep.
In another minute or 2, he's going to see that pack coming up on the left-hand side, to his left, on the right-hand side of Monument Avenue, and he's going to see them all running really fast as a group. What must that be like for an amateur runner, knowing that that's what's tracking you down?
That has to scare the daylights out of David, let me tell you, because he's going to, you know, like you said, he's by himself. He's going to look over a pack of 12, 14 runners running at a pace they're running right now about 4:20 per mile. And David's probably, you know, right about 8 minutes per mile. So he is going to, like a deer in the headlights when he sees them coming. And also the pack of runners are going to see David, and they're going to say, we got to get this guy. We want that $2,500.
Here's a live picture from Malvern Avenue as David comes around. That's where he started, so he's made his turn and he's headed back. A couple of the other elites that some of the names that might be a little familiar. Benson Chariot, who finished 3rd last year. He won the Crazy Legs 8K in 2011. He was 2nd in marathons in Houston and Athens, Georgia in 2009. He also ran an event that's very near and dear to my heart, the Utica Boilermaker 15K. I believe he won that in 2006 with a time of 45 minutes. I've done that event. a number of times. That's another fantastic event.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of guys that maybe the people around here will remember, but again, our only former champion in the field is Julius Kogo.
Yeah, but again, you know, you just never know who's in that top form. You know, it's so hard to predict a winner in these races. And as you can see today, we got a pretty big group. A lot of times, by this point, we have it splintered out to, you know, just 3 or 4 runners, but we got a big pack today.
There are also, in the group of elites, there are also a couple of local runners. John Moltz is one that has done this event for a number of years, ran collegiately at the University of Richmond, was 3-time All A10 for the Richmond cross-country team. He's the track coach at St. Catherine's. For the last 3 years, he has finished in the top 15 of this event.
Yeah.
6th place finish in 2010, and back-to-back 13th place finishes the last 2 years. But when you are not running on the circuit with these elite guys, and when you are not, you know, doing what they are doing and going to events all over the country, a top 15 finish is an amazing accomplishment.
It's very impressive because, as we mentioned, these top Kenyan athletes that you see, they do this every weekend. They'll get a 6 months visa to come into the U.S. and they will race continuously for 6 months, because then they got to head back to Kenya and they'll train up in the mountains of Kenya. We also got our women's field out there today. Got some great women in this race, and it's the same tradition. Some of the best runners in the world.
There has never been a back-to-back men's champion, but there has been one repeat women's champion. That was Megan Wright. Last year's women's champion is in the field this year. Malika Camacho won last year in a time of 33:07, and you would have to think she's one of the favorites again this year.
Yeah, I would agree. And hopefully we'll be able to pick up the pack of women at some point on one of the cameras, and we'll see what's going on with the ladies pack. But
I believe our Rob Cardwell is at Malvern Avenue. If he is there, Rob, they just went by you. How do the elites look?
They look fantastic, Lane, and you've been talking about what a beautiful day it is. It's great running weather, and I think these guys are really taking advantage of that. They're staying together. They just passed us. They look very focused, and I don't think they're ready to start kicking it in right now. But you also mentioned that Dave, our Dash for the Cash guy, passed these guys just a moment ago, and talking to somebody a little bit further down on the racetrack, they said his eyes opened wide when he saw how fast these guys were running.
Yeah, I bet they did. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll check back in with Rob as the elite runners will be headed back towards him coming in on Malvern Avenue. You're watching live coverage of the 2013 UCROPS Monument Avenue 10K on CBS 6.
Just met a boy when he could become my little